Welcome back to the channel, guys. This is VIN 2285. This is a 2017 223, which is Caviar with LA20 black interior. For sale with 35,000 miles, pretty low mile, at CarMax in Florida, listed for $50,000. It's a Texas and Florida car its whole life. Production statistics. So this is the third most common color combination, white with red, white with black, and then this is black with black. So there are 448 out of the 2,348 cars for the US 49 were Caviar. Of those, 225 had LA20 black interior. That's like a 2 or 3 out of 10. It's 9.58% of all of the US 49 production was this color combo. For 2017 though, lower production year, 66 out of the 342 cars had Caviar. Of those 66, 38, a lot of them, had LA20 black interior. So at its rarest, this car is one of 38. It sounds rare, but it's because it is a 2017, not a 2016. As far as options go, this car was optioned with the split polished wheels, which is the gray base with the high points being polished, and it has the heads-up display that was optioned. Those are both standard on 2016s. Everything 2017 to 2020, those were always optional. And so this car has both of those. And it also has Mark Levinson audio, which like 98% of these cars had. Carfax, Epic VIN, and AutoCheck. Carfax shows this as a 2-owner, no accident car, Texas and Florida car. Epic VIN shows this as a 1-owner, no accident car, which is not correct. This car was a lease, and then it was returned and then sold again. AutoCheck shows this as a 2-owner, no accident car. Now, you would think this is a 2-owner, no accident car. However, as we get into the service history, you'll find that this car has unreported accident damage or paintwork. So we'll get into that here in a minute. Previous sales. So this car first went on sale April of 2017, $88,500 in Texas, and it sold as a lease in December to remember, sales event, December 2017, so it's like 8 months for sale. Very typical when these cars were new because the dealers didn't want to discount them, and a lot of them ended up being leased as their first owners. And then it was traded in February of 2020 with about 14,300 miles or so, and it was sent to auction in Texas. And then it was purchased by CarMax and put up for sale March 2nd of 2020 for $54,000 with 14,000 miles in Florida. And then typical with CarMax and Carvana cars, they kind of travel all over the place for a while. So it looks like it made a trip to Virginia in April of 2020, and then it was back to Florida in May of 2020, and then it sold in June of 2020 to a buyer back in Florida. So car stays in Florida. And in that sale, it was disclosed as prior fleet use, which, you know, in this instance, it was a lease car. It wasn't a Lexus-owned car or a wholesale fleet or anything like that. And then now here it is, May of 2026, 35,000 miles in Florida at CarMax again. So it's been at CarMax twice for $50,000, and it was reserved in minutes. So now into the photos. There are a few mods. It looked like it has an NIA front lip. Normally that kit has a side skirt with it, and I don't see side skirts on this. Has some kind of aftermarket exhaust, may have a mid pipe too, and it has coilovers. You can see them peeking out of the shock towers in the engine bay. CarMax does not normally sell cars that have modified suspension, so it's kind of odd. Maybe they just didn't catch it, or it's just kind of sitting slightly lower than factory ride height, which looks kind of the case here. The big thing to me that stands out is it looks like it has moisture in the passenger side headlight. And I can tell you more about that in the service history. Typically what will happen if these headlights have moisture in them is that the headlight will work for a while, and then the moisture will trickle down and the daytime running light will stop working, or it'll start flickering, something like that. And then eventually the moisture makes it all the way down where it sits, where the headlight module and all the control are, the motors, things like that. And then the headlight completely fails. New headlight, $3,500, $3,700, plus you have to pull the bumper off. You know, there's some labor involved. It's not an inexpensive fix. And so that would be a big red flag to watch out for on this car, is moisture in the headlight, which it looks like what's going on here. I don't think it's a reflection, because you can look at different angles. It kind of looks the same. The carbon fiber trim on the interior looks okay. The passenger side dash piece, the finish on it looks different. And so that kind of caught my eye. So I think that it was probably refinished, like at a body shop or something. That's typically what I see when people try to refinish them or have a body shop refinish them, instead of like SMA Fabrication in Florida or some of these other companies that offer carbon fiber refinishing. And so to me, it looks like it's been refinished, and my eye kind of caught that. The touch points look pretty good, but it looks like there's kind of a white stain or something on the bottom of the driver's seat. And also the driver's seat bolster has a little bit of wear, which for a car with 35,000 miles, that kind of tells me that this car has probably had a lot of short trips, or somebody was just really hard getting in and out, had a belt or something that kind of rubbed on the seat bolster. But it's, for a car with 35,000 miles, there's a lot of wear on that driver's seat. But I would say overall, the exterior, you know, the CarMax photos, for whatever reason at this CarMax, they're not exceptionally well lit. You know, Carvana is usually very well lit. Most of CarMaxes are, and this one just everything looks really dark. So it's hard to see any imperfections, paint differences, chips, things like that. And when you click on the imperfections tab on the for sale ad, it shows nothing. So either the car is perfect or you just can't see it. So now into the price. In the last 60 days or so, the market, as you know, has been trending up pretty hard on these cars. And so this car, if it needed nothing and it had no prior damage or accident history, which is not the case, as I'll get into in a minute, this car would probably be like a mid-50s, even upper 50s if it's exceptionally clean. And I think where CarMax has it priced right now at $50,000, that is low. However, when we get into some of the history, you may see why that may be justified. So now on to the service history. This car is not well dealer serviced after 2019 and like the last 20,000 miles. So because it's modded, maybe it was owned by an enthusiast, kind of DIY, you know, the modifications, the service, everything done in the driveway, brakes, you know, tires, you can go somewhere else and it just doesn't report it to Carfax. But basically the last 6 years and 20,000 miles would be a question. And typically for a low mileage example, it's just oil changes. And now this car coming up on almost 10 years old, I would be looking at doing fluids and things like that, which I'll get into that here in a bit. But there's nothing else on Carfax. So the only thing I can assume is either it was DIY or it wasn't done. So the first entry of note is July of 2018, the JLB recall. That's the high pressure fuel pumps. That's done and out of the way. Most of these cars have that done. October of 2018, 7,300 miles. They repaired a dent in the left rear quarter panel and they polished it out. It shows 16 hours of labor, which that's either some major stuff that was done or somebody fat fingered and it was 1.6 hours of labor, which kind of sounds more along the lines of what I would expect, but something kind of off there. January of 2019, 9,700 miles, the left rear door glass was replaced. Maybe the car was broken into or something. It's again on that left rear. And here's the big one, May of 2019. So again, this was 7 years ago, 12,000 miles, new front bumper, new transmission duct. They're on the right side, so that's where the transmission oil cooler is. It's on the opposite side there. The right undercover, the right fender liner, they glued the right side headlight as best as possible with no warranty. So typically what happens is if this car is improperly towed on a flatbed, it pushes up on the lower portion of the bumper, pushes up and it will actually crack the back side of the headlight where it's attached, where it's mounted. And very common to see things like that. That could have been what happened, or this car ran over something, which that's kind of what this sounds like. Ran over something, didn't turn it in under insurance, just paid the dealer to fix it, and whatever it ran over, it pushed the bumper up just briefly and it cracked the headlight. That jives with what you're seeing in the passenger side in the photos, moisture in the headlight. So they tried to repair it here, kind of glued it or sealed it. It didn't make a good seal, and so now it's got moisture in it, it's got damage. So to me, that's kind of what it sounds like. If you remove this bumper, remove the headlight and looked at it, I bet you the headlight housing is cracked, and that's probably what's going on here, and that it's gone on for 7 years. With the car not being driven a lot, maybe it's been driven, you know, nice days, things like that. It hasn't been driven in the rain a lot, so that would be why that you don't have the issues with the headlight not working right now. If you go drive this in the rain, wash it frequently, things like that, headlight's probably gonna fail. December of 2019, lease inspection return, 14,356 miles, and then there's a 6-year gap in the service, and then an oil change in 2025 at 32,500 miles with the check engine light on, and it says what the codes are, which is a gross evap leak. Well, you know what causes that? A loose gas cap. Very common to see on these cars. They come in with a check engine light, gross evap leak, tighten the gas cap, it goes away. Well, it's probably misdiagnosed as from a loose gas cap, and they replaced the evap purge valve on this car. And so that was not inexpensive, kind of a little bit of labor involved. But that's kind of odd. And in that same service, they also note that the brakes were noisy, and they recommended replacing the pads and the rotors. It was not done, and they recommended replacing 2 of the rear tires. So this car needs brakes and tires as of November 2025. CarMax goes through and does an inspection. If this car needed tires, if the tread was less than 430 seconds, they will replace the tires. If it's more than that or at that, they won't replace them. So it's either very close to needing tires or the tires have been fairly recently replaced. So what's not done? The ZLZ, as always, the sticky deformed delaminating dash. The in-service date on this car is November 24th, 2017. So you have until November 24th, 2027. So you have about another year and a half until that is expired in order for Lexus to replace it free of charge. The shocks, the 17s through 20s had the adaptive damping shocks. Those are gone on this car. This car has coilovers, so not a concern, but something to look at would be what coilovers they are. Are they BC coilovers, you know, some cheap coilovers, or are they higher end? I can't tell from the photos, but there's nothing else to go on there. So we know in November 2025 it needed brakes and tires, so inspect that very carefully. Low pressure fuel pump recall. The parts are not available yet. The recall just came out a couple weeks ago, but once they're available, take this car to the Lexus dealer and get a new low pressure fuel pump installed for free. The valley plate, heat cycles and time. This car very likely could have a leaking valley plate. Definitely do a pre-purchase inspection, or buy the CarMax Max Care warranty and they'll take care of it. You know, that if that's something that concerns you, it's coming up on that. If the Max Care covers it for 3 or 4 more years, it's probably going to leak in those 3 or 4 years. So, you know, you'll save yourself $2,000 or $3,000 there. The carbon fiber trim, as I pointed out, the passenger side dash looks like it's been refinished. Looks a little bit different, but the rest of the carbon fiber trim, none of it's been replaced at the dealer. So something to be mindful for is that it may delaminate in the future. I would probably do fluids. This car's coming up on 10 years old, so do coolant, transmission service, TVD service, the torque vectoring differential, brake fluid, things like that. That's what I would probably do. Front lower control arm bushings, as always. Look at the insides of the front tires. Make sure you don't see any excessive wear. If you do, 2 tires, an alignment, and front lower control arm bushings, so that can get kind of pricey. That headlight, that would be the thing to pay attention to as well. So that brings me to, would I buy this car? I think it's not as good of a deal as I originally thought after looking through the service history. The headlight, you know you're going to be on the hook for that sometime soon. So you have to factor that into the purchase price. I kind of, in my head, in this market, I would put this at a $55,000 car. So subtract $4,000 because you're gonna have to replace a headlight. You're gonna have to do brakes and tires, so the price keeps going down. Kind of puts this car in like the upper 40s in my mind. So this car at $50,000 is I think it's priced fairly now, but just know that you're going into it, that you're gonna have to put some more money into it. So I think at 50, I would be a buyer, but no more than that. That would be the absolute top. And CarMax, non-negotiable prices, so 50 grand is the price. But if any of that concerns you, so the headlight not working, the valley plate, things like that, buy the CarMax Max Care warranty and just go drive it. That's what I would do. Is this a driver quality car? It's hard to tell from the photos. So it has that stain on the seat, it has the bolster wear on the seat. So, you know, I would definitely put it more in that category of a driver quality than a collector quality car. So, you know, I have people that I'm watching for both. You know, collector quality, driver quality, rebuilt title cars. I'm kind of watching everything for everybody here. But yeah, this car, it has the potential to be a decent car, but it requires a little bit more investigation. Satisfy yourself with about that headlight and the service history. Big old question mark on the service history on this one. So those would be my main concerns. And then of course the whole front bumper has been replaced, repainted, or the whole front bumper has been replaced, not repainted. So the front bumper's been replaced. Sounds like whatever was hit or damaged was on that right front corner. So that would be something to look a little bit closer. And what you can do is you can take the upper radiator cover off on this car and it's like 10 clips, comes off in a minute or two. And you can shine a flashlight down there underneath the headlight, and you can look a little bit closer to some of that and see if you can see any other further damage. That transmission cooler is not inexpensive, and so that would be something to look at and just satisfy yourself that the repairs were decent, but something on that right front corner. So that's what I've got for you guys, VIN2285. If you bought this car, let me know in the comments. If you've seen this car in person, let me know in the comments. Thanks again for watching. We'll see you soon.